Okay. Hi, my name is Kim. Today I am going to be doing a paranormal story time. A few disclaimers. If you hear something in the background, it's either my two dogs or my ferret whose cage is over there. Um, so I've never made one of these before. I've always wanted to. I actually tried filming this already. The filming went fine, but just the editing and everything was such an issue. I did it on my phone, so I decided to say screw it and just film it on my laptop webcam so I don't have to worry about transferring the video or whatever. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, this is going to be my first paranormal experience. I'm going to try to do this in one go without a lot of editing because I'm still figuring that out. So, if you don't like the setup of this video, I'm sorry. I'm doing it this way. I'm doing this because I want to, not for anyone else. So, yeah, let's get started. So, basically, all my life I've had paranormal experiences. I've been super interested in other people's paranormal experiences. I grew up with my mom and my grandma telling me about theirs all the time. And honestly, it freaked me out for a really long time. And just within the last maybe 5 years, I've really kind of gotten into it and been a bit more accepting of it rather than just like, no, I'm not dealing with it, not talking about it, whatever. But if you're close to me or someone that I know or talk to on a relatively regular basis, you probably know some of the stories and things that I've experienced because I am obsessed with this and I love telling people about it and hearing other people's experiences. So, first paranormal experience, I'm guessing about 6 or 7, whatever age you are in, let's see, kindergarten. It would be kindergarten based on where we were living at the time. So, me, my mom, my dad, and my two little brothers lived in a house out in basically the middle of nowhere. It was in we live in Missouri, but at the time we lived in Katrin. No one's gonna know that it's super tiny. It's basically just a bunch of farmland, and we moved from where I was born to this house, and it was a family friend's house. I think it had originally been like their mom's house, and she moved away, so we were looking for a place. And my dad reached out to them, and they ended up letting us stay there. Anyways, so we move into this house, everything's fine. I don't really know how long we had been living there at this point, but I know it hadn't been that long because honestly, we weren't there for a super long time. We were there for maybe a few years. So I was probably 6 or 7. Usually, that's about the age, from what I've been told, that kids start seeing ghosts, apparitions, hearing things, whatever, feeling things. Kids are just a lot more sensitive to stuff like that. And honestly, that's an age where, like, once you start having those, you haven't had somebody to tell you that, like, it's not real or you're just seeing things or this and that. So they're a bit more open minded to it. And it's just, they haven't been, what's the word? I don't know. They haven't been altered by society saying that one thing is real or not real. So they're just taking the sensory input that they're experiencing and experiencing it and telling people about it. And most of the time people are like, no, that's not real. Anyways, so I was about 6 or 7 and I remember I went to bed, everything was fine. I was a super anxious kid. I deal with anxiety. A lot of people know that about me. I was a super anxious kid and didn't really like having a room of my own. And so me and my little brother, who's 2 years younger than me, shared a bedroom most of the time. So I remember waking up. I had fallen asleep for a while. It wasn't super late. I woke up and I just was super thirsty. Got up, asked my mom for a glass of water. I had walked down the hallway, or I guess technically up the hallway to the kitchen and asked for a glass of water. And the way this house was set up was there was a carport, and you come in through the carport door and walk up the hallway, which is where the bedrooms were located, off the hallway on either side. And then at the end of the hallway was the kitchen and the living room and the dining room. It was just kind of like an old ranch style house, if anyone knows anything about house styles. So that's how the house was set up. And so I got up, was thirsty, went asked my mom for a glass of water, and I'm drinking the water. And of course, I turn around to go back to bed after I'm done, and she says good night. And as I turn around, I see a ghost. And my first reaction was just to cover my eyes like this. And I just stood there, like, freaked out, breathing heavy. My mom's like, "What's wrong? What are you doing?" I'm like, I don't know. I saw something in the hallway. And at the time, all I said was, I saw something in the hallway. And she's like, "Well, what do you mean you saw something in the hallway?" And I was like, I saw something in the hallway. I think it might have been a ghost or something. And I'm sure from that age, I probably knew what a ghost was from a movie, or maybe they had told me about their experiences at the time, but I kind of doubt it because I don't think they would have told me for fear that I would be freaked out because I was already an anxious kid. So why would you tell an anxious kid about ghost stories? So anyways, this happens, and immediately my mom's like, "Oh no, it's probably nothing. This is actually not my natural hair color. It's naturally like very, very, very white, platinum blonde." And as a kid, it was even more so. So there was literally nothing but just white hair. So I think she thought that like a piece of hair had gotten in the way and maybe like reflected on light, and in my like sleepy stupor, I'm sure she just thought that I was seeing something, or she might have actually believed me, but just didn't want to freak me out and wanted me to go back to bed because it was late and she was like cleaning up the kitchen and trying to get to bed herself. So she explained it away and I was freaked out. So I don't really remember what happened after that. I just remember what I saw was like ingrained in my mind. Like I remember it vividly, but after that, I don't really remember what happened. I'm sure she went and like tucked me in bed and sat with me for a bit. But anyways, what I saw looked like down the hallway, there was a door when you first walk into the left. That room always freaked me out for some reason. It was just like a little storage room. I think my dad might have used it for like his hunting stuff or whatever. It was basically just storage. No one went in there. And then there was, next after that was a little mini closet, which basically just held like the water heater, furnace stuff. And obviously no one would be in there. And that's actually where I saw the ghost come from. It went from there to the other side of the hallway through what would be my bedroom. I wasn't in that bedroom at the time because I was still kind of young and I didn't feel comfortable having a room by myself. And so I saw this, like, the only way I can describe it is a spectral white figure, as most people would, I guess, describe it as. From head to toe, it was all white, and it almost looked like a woman in like a veil or something, just gliding from one side of the hallway slowly into the other side, and then just like disappeared. Never saw this again. This was like a one-time thing, and really it's like the only thing that I remember happening in that house. But I saw this, and of course I freaked out. My mom discounted it or tried to calm me down or whatever. But yeah, so I saw that, and I didn't really think anything of it after that. Obviously, like getting to sleep was a bit harder after that, and it was always super ingrained in my mind. I thought about it every once in a while, but as a kid, like stuff like that happens, and you're just like, whatever. And of course, later on in years, I had other experiences, and obviously started to believe in these situations and realized that like, oh, that probably was actually something. And the kicker is later on, I like to draw and paint, as you can see back there, some unfinished paintings. Where was I going with this? Oh yeah. So I like to draw and paint, and in my sketchbook, I decided I don't want to forget this experience because I was getting into the paranormal, and so I decided to draw it out, like draw the scene. And I drew the hallway with the figure and everything. And I remember at one point my mom was looking at my sketchbook and she actually, oh, she actually ended up being like, oh, what is that? And I'm like, that's what I saw. Do you remember in Katrin whenever I had this experience and I freaked out after waking up one night and said I saw a ghost in the hallway? This is what I saw. And she was just like, oh. And I'm like, what? And she's like, I didn't realize that's what you were actually seeing. And I'm like, what did you think I was seeing? And she's like, I really thought that you were just like sleepy and like saw a reflection or something. And I was like, no, like from floor to the top of its head, that's what it looked like. And she was just like, oh, you probably did see something then. And at that point, I was like, okay, well, I guess that's just confirmation. And honestly, I had already decided myself that yes, this is a real thing, that this did happen. Um, but yeah, she pretty much confirmed it and was like, yeah, if that's what it looked like. It's probably what it was. Um, so yeah, I do have other experiences. Once we moved out of that house, there's like several things that happened in the house after that. Honestly, everywhere I've lived, something has happened. But in that house, there was only the one thing. But in the second house that we moved to, I have some other stories. So I understand that this is kind of iffy. It's not the best filming setup, not the best background or anything, but I really, really, really just wanted to make a video and post it for myself. So that's what this is. If you enjoyed it, let me know, leave a like, subscribe, whatever. I'm probably still going to make more videos, whether anyone likes them or not, just because I want to do them. I enjoy watching these videos, so I kind of wanted to just put mine out there and just, I don't know, maybe someone will connect with it or have an experience and be like, oh yeah, maybe that's what happened. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna go. If you want to see more, stay tuned. Probably will post soon. And yeah, spookiness, cool.